So the lesson for today is going to be multiplying radicals. So two simple rules to remember. You multiply radicals inside with inside, outside with outside. So what we mean by that, I'll give you a quick example here. If I had something such as 2 radical 3 times 5 radical 7. So inside with inside would mean you take the radical 3 and the radical 7. Multiply those together and you're going to get radical 21. So that's the inside with the inside. Outside with outside, the 2 with the 5. The numbers that are outside of the radicals. Multiply those together, I get 10. So the answer is 10 radical 21. Now, if there are perfect squares inside your radical, you gotta take those out at the end because your radical should always be in simplified form. There are no perfect squares inside of 21, therefore this answer is simplified. But let's look at some other examples now where you are gonna have simplifying to do. And I'll go through a method that can make it a little easier while you're doing it here. Keep numbers small, so that way the numbers don't get too big and confusing. So, first example. Let's say we got 3 radical 10 times 4 radical 15. So first thing you're going to do is outside times outside. That's going to give you 12. After that, when you go to multiply the two numbers on the inside, don't actually multiply them. Show the multiplication, but don't do it. So if I have 10 times 15, the reason why there's no point in multiplying them together is because you're going to start breaking them down to look for the perfect squares anyways. So why multiply it together just to do an extra step that you're going to undo in the next step? So just leave it like this, and from here, start breaking them down. 2 times 5, 3 times 5. So this gives me 2 times 3 times 5 times 5. My perfect square is right there. So this is going to come out as a 5. So the 5 goes on the outside. You already have a 12 on the outside. And on the inside, you're left with 2 times 3, which will make 6. So I'm going to get 60 radical 6. That would be my final answer. Try another. So let's say I've got 5 radical 12 times 6 radical 30. So again, we start by multiplying the numbers on the outsides. 5 times 6 is going to make 30. And then I take the 12 times 30 and I just write it on the inside as 12 times 30. After that, I'm going to break this down. So that's going to give me 2 times 6, 2 times 3. This is going to give me 3 times 10, and then 2 times 5. From there, that gives me 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. So there are all my factors. I'll have a perfect square here and a perfect square there. So this one comes out as a 2, and this one comes out as a 3. So that's going to give me 6 times 30. So 6 times 30 is going to give me 180. And then on the inside, I'm left with 2 and 5. 2 times 5 will make 10. So final answer, 180 radical 10. Now let's go through a couple of examples with variables. So let's say I've got 3x radical 8x cubed times 5x squared radical, what do I got there, 14x to the 5th. All right. Now remember, just because there's variables in the problem, it doesn't mean the process changes. Process stays the same. We're going to start with outside times outside. So this times this is going to give me 15x cubed. On the inside, again, I'm just going to write the 8 and the 14. I'm not going to multiply them together. 8 times 14. I will, though, multiply the variables. X to the third and x to the fifth. That's going to make x to the eighth. And before I break down my numbers, I'm going to go ahead and take out the x to the eighth, since we can do that pretty quickly. So remember, to take out a variable, all you have to do is divide the exponent by 2. So 2 goes into 8 4 times. So this is going to come out as x to the fourth. That's going to combine with this guy here. So I'm going to have 15x to the seventh. And now I have 8 times 14 left on the inside. So now that the variable is taken out, let's go ahead and take out the numbers now. So I get 2 times 4, 2 times 2, and 2 times 7. Altogether, that's going to make 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 7. That is a 7. Sorry, I'll do it at 7. There we go. A little better. So I got perfect square there, perfect square there. So this is going to come out as a 2. This is going to come out as a 2. I already have 15x to the 7. And on the inside, I'm only going to be left with 7. This gives me 4. 4 times 15 is 60. So I'm going to get 60 x to the 7th radical 7. So that would be my answer for that. Let's try another one. So let's say I've got 2x squared y radical 21xy cubed times 3x radical 14xy squared. So again, to begin with, I'm going to do outside with outside. So 2 times 3 is going to make 6. X squared with x is going to make x cubed. And then I got the y. On the inside, I'm just going to write the 21 and the 14. So 21 times 14. But now I'm going to combine my variables. So x times x is going to make x squared. Y cubed times y to the second makes y to the fifth. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take my variables out really quick. So my x squared, remember, we divide the exponent by 2. So 2 goes into 2 one time. So I'm taking out x to the 1, or just x. 2 goes into 5 twice. So I'm going to take out y to the second power. And you have a remainder of 1. So there's going to be 1y left over on the inside. From there, I'll combine these now. So I'll have 6. X cubed and x are going to make x to the fourth. Y and y squared will make y to the third. And I'm left with 21 times 14. And this y is left inside. So now I get 3 times 7 and 2 times 7 when I break down the numbers. So that's going to be 2 times 3 times 7 times 7. This guy will come out as a 7. So my final answer, I made 7 times 6 is 42. X to the fourth power, y cubed. And then on the inside, I'm left with 2 times 3. That'll make 6. And I'm left with the y. So this multiplication gives me that answer. All right. These should be enough examples that you can move on to the assignment now. If you get stuck on something and you don't remember what to do, you can always go back, watch the video again. Hopefully you took notes on this, because you should have all this step-by-step written in your notes as well, which should also help you to remember what you're doing. So go ahead and get started on the assignment. And well, I look forward to seeing you in the next video.